In my previous video, we went through the entire syllabus of this court decision, the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. And the link is in the description so that you can bring this up. It's a 213-page PDF document. What I'm going to do today is go into some other tabs that I have open, and we'll start off with the state of Alabama, because as you see right here, Steve Marshall, the Alabama Attorney General, has some things to say with respect to the immediacy of Alabama laws going into full effect with respect to the Supreme Court's decision. Scrolling down below the video, what we have here is the following. Montgomery, Alabama. Alabama's Attorney General issued a forceful statement Friday in regard to the U.S. Supreme Court decision that overturns Roe v. Wade. Attorney General Steve Marshall gave notice that because neither the United States Constitution nor the Alabama Constitution provide a right to abortion, Alabama's laws that prohibit abortion and that have not been enjoined by a court are in full effect. The article goes on to provide additional detail, but in the interest of time, what I'm going to do is simply recommend that you check out this article. The link is in the description. The next article that I have open is at Axios, and the title of the article is Abortion Clinics Across the Country Close After Roe v. Wade Ruling. Scrolling down a little further, this article, although it comes from a certain place on the political spectrum, I believe contains some very salient points and information. What we're going to do is pull up the article and just glean some of the things that are available here. Multiple clinics that provide abortions closed down Friday in the immediate aftermath of the Supreme Court's ruling that will end federal protections on abortion. Scrolling down a little bit further, there are at least 13 states with trigger laws that will immediately outlaw abortion, which means more than a quarter of nearly 800 clinics will shut down. Scrolling down further, this will especially limit access to abortion clinics in the South and Midwest, since at least 32 abortion providers across Arkansas, Missouri, Louisiana, and Texas will be prohibited from offering the procedure. Here's a running list of clinics that closed their doors in the wake of the decision. Alabama. Attorney General Steve Marshall ordered abortion clinics in the state to cease and desist operations after the Roe v. Wade ruling. Arkansas. Planned Parenthood Great Plains said that it has paused all abortion services in Arkansas. Louisiana. All 3 clinics in Louisiana closed on Friday, June 24th, State Representative Mandy Landry tweeted. This includes the only clinic in New Orleans that provided abortions. It closed its doors and workers were sent home less than 2 hours after the Supreme Court ruling. South Dakota. The state's final operating clinic in Sioux Falls closed its doors last week before the Supreme Court decision. Texas. Whole Woman's Health, which runs 4 clinics in Texas, said it will stop providing abortions in Texas after the ruling, the Texas Tribune reports. Wisconsin. Planned Parenthood in Wisconsin halted all scheduled abortions at its clinics in Madison, Milwaukee, and Sheboygan on Friday, the Associated Press reports. As the article is titled, Abortion Clinics Across the Country Close After Roe v. Wade ruling. Now, what was mentioned in terms of the total number of abortion clinics across the country is 800. But as a result of the Supreme Court ruling, at least a quarter of the 800 clinics across the country will close immediately due to the trigger laws in at least 13 states. So we're going to move on to the next tab here, and this one actually is at the Planned Parenthood website. As you can see right here, the donation page actually has a little message right here, and I'm not bringing this up to encourage donations by any means, but what I do want to point out very simply is stated on this donation page: the Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade and eliminated our federal constitutional right to abortion. Now, better phrased would be eliminated our prospects of federal funding for abortion. See, this is major, and we're going to move on to some other tabs that I have open here. This article is actually from 2015, but it specifically speaks to the question, how does Planned Parenthood spend that government money? I'll provide the link in the description, and I was actually pleased to see the photograph that's on this particular webpage, and this is at the NPR website. It is one of the sites that speaks to the amount of funding that Planned Parenthood would regularly receive from the government. And as you can see right here, $528 million. And that was as of 2015. Scrolling back up to the top, we're going to go to the next tab. What you see right here at opensecrets.org is the title Planned Parenthood PAC Contributions to Federal Candidates. Scrolling down, we don't have to even go into much detail here. It speaks for itself. Out of the contributions presented here, notice how much went to Democrats and notice how much went to Republicans at the time of this writing. And this is in reference to the 2021 to 2022 cycle. So that is very telling. 100% of Planned Parenthood's funding toward political candidates went to Democrats and 0% went to Republicans. Scrolling back up to the top, the article is in the description. Look for the link, but in the interest of time, we have this next article here, which is presented at the WashingtonTimes.com. WashingtonTimes.com. Planned Parenthood reports increase in government funding. Now, this article is actually from 2020. The trend was an increase in government funding up until Friday, June 24th. Everything has changed. So what we have right here is an article from January 6, 2020, speaking to the fact that the trend was an increase in government funding to Planned Parenthood. But once again, that spigot has been cut off. So moving on to the next tab, we have at liveaction.org report. Planned Parenthood spent $271 million in federal funding from 2016 to 2018. And this article by Loretta Brown was first posted on August 3rd, 2021. The information within this article, once again, speaks very specifically to the history of government funding that has been repeatedly allocated to Planned Parenthood. So the Supreme Court's decision on Friday, June 24th, is one that represents a major impact. Next tab, we have right here at factcheck.org, Planned Parenthood and the Democrats. All right, scrolling down, we have in this article from 2017 further details speaking to that cozy relationship between Planned Parenthood and the Democrats. The article that I have here is one of particular interest. You'll see why. You can just check it out for yourself at factcheck.org. Now, I am going to scroll down to the numbers that even back in 2015, 2016, shows the vast majority of funding from Planned Parenthood going to the Democrats. In 2021 and 2022, 100% went to Democrats and 0% went to Republicans. The next tab that I have open here is at the website physiciansforlife.org. The link is in the description. And before I get into this particular article, what I want to do is draw your attention to this next tab, which is About Us, Physicians for Life. Physiciansforlife.org exists to draw attention to the issues of abortion, euthanasia, stem cell research, cloning, infanticide, teen pregnancy, sexually transmitted diseases, out-of-wedlock sexual activity, and the medical merits of risk elimination through sexual abstinence. And it goes on. But basically, this is a website that is sponsored by Alabama Physicians for Life Incorporated. That's why you see the APFLI. And Alabama Physicians for Life Incorporated was founded in 1986 and has produced a series of brochures, booklets, and digests which are distributed throughout the USA and internationally. Now, coming back to the prior tab, we're going to go from About Us to the prior tab, physiciansforlife.org. Let's check out the title right here. Facts about Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood. Now, Physicians for Life have done their homework and they have provided the sources so that you can verify the research for yourself. But suffice it to say, the information in this tab is of extreme importance if you are going to truly understand what it is that was the original vision of the founder of Planned Parenthood. We'll come back to that. In another tab I have at Truth or Fiction, Hillary Clinton said she admires Margaret Sanger. And it's true. She did say that. And what we have right here in this particular article is something that you just need to see for yourself. Next tab, the American eugenics movement after World War II. There's a reason why I have this up. And all of this information, which I'm providing, at least referencing the titles, is extremely important. In another tab, what I have here for you is some information at wikipedia.org. And this is in reference to Clarence Gamble. Clarence Gamble. What did he have to do with Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, and the implementation of her vision? This is a rabbit hole that runs pretty deep. And upon seeing what information is available in these latter tabs that I just referenced, once again, links are in the description, you will realize for yourself that any decent person who is aware of the facts presented about not only the founder of Planned Parenthood, but the intent and vision of the organization, any decent person may need to step back and, rather than protesting the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade, rather applaud it, This is the kind of information that it's better to bird dog, or else the algorithms get all over you and you have very little reach in terms of the information that you're trying to convey. This is one of those topics. So again, look for the links in the description of this video. Check out these facts for yourself, and you'll better appreciate why the Supreme Court's recent decision to overturn Roe v. Wade was so important. This is Damian Jordan. Thanks for watching.